Welcome back. The Jaguar E-Type V12 is not just a car from the past. It's a moment frozen in time. A reminder of when automotive design was driven by passion rather than algorithms. Even today, decades after it first appeared, this car still has the power to stop people in their tracks. It doesn't matter how many supercars you've seen or how modern your taste is, when an E-Type V12 rolls by, something shifts. You don't just see it, you recognize it. This car represents Jaguar at its most confident. By the time the V12 version arrived in the early 1970s, the E-Type was already famous worldwide. It had stunned journalists, racers, designers, and everyday drivers alike. But Jaguar wasn't content to live on reputation alone. It wanted to refine the experience, make it smoother, more powerful, more luxurious, and that's where the V12 comes in. From the outside, the Jaguar E-Type V12 immediately communicates elegance and authority. The body is long, low, and impossibly graceful. The bonnet stretches far ahead of the driver, sculpted with subtle contours that catch the light as you move around the car. It's not aggressive in a modern sense. There are no sharp edges screaming for attention. Instead, the design flows naturally, almost organically, as if it were shaped by the wind itself. The front end sits low and wide, giving the car a planted stance. The oval grille is simple and purposeful, feeding air to the engine while maintaining the clean lines that define the E-Type's face. The headlights are set into the front wings under glass covers, maintaining a smooth aerodynamic surface that was revolutionary for its time. Even standing still, the car looks fast, not because it's trying to look fast, but because it is fast. Move to the side, and the proportions become even more striking. The long hood, short rear deck, and low roofline create one of the most iconic silhouettes in automotive history. The wheels fill the arches perfectly, giving the car a muscular yet refined posture. Chrome accents are used sparingly, just enough to highlight the curves without overwhelming them. Everything feels balanced, intentional, and timeless. At the rear, the E-Type V12 tapers gracefully. It's finishing with quad exhaust tips that subtly hint at the power underneath. The rear bumper wraps neatly around the body, adding a touch of classic elegance without disrupting the flow. This is a design that doesn't age because it was never chasing fashion in the first place. Open the door, and the interior welcomes you with a completely different kind of drama. Quieter, more intimate, more personal. The cabin feels like a cockpit rather than a living room. You sit low, surrounded by leather, metal, and carefully arranged controls. There's a sense that everything is exactly where it should be. It's designed for the driver first and foremost. The seats are upholstered in high-quality leather, shaped to provide support without sacrificing comfort. They're firm but inviting, holding you securely during spirited driving while remaining comfortable on long journeys. The stitching is understated, reinforcing the idea that this is a serious driver's car, not a showpiece trying too hard to impress. Ahead of you, the dashboard stretches across the cabin with a purposeful layout. Large analog gauges dominate the view, giving you immediate access to vital information. Speedometer, tachometer, fuel level, oil pressure, everything is clear, legible, and honest. There's no unnecessary decoration here, just functional beauty. The steering wheel is thin-rimmed and leather-wrapped, offering direct feedback from the road. It doesn't isolate you from the driving experience, it invites you into it. Every small input is translated through the wheel, making you feel connected to the front wheels and the surface beneath them. This is a level of engagement that many modern cars, for all their technology, struggle to replicate. The center console and switchgear have a mechanical feel, with metal toggles and knobs that click and move with satisfying precision. It reminds you that this car was built in an era when controls were meant to be felt, not just touched. Optional features like air conditioning and improved ventilation make the cabin more comfortable than earlier E-Types, reflecting Jaguars. Shift toward grand touring refinement. And then there's the engine, the heart of this legend. Beneath that long bonnet lies a 5.3-liter V12 engine. It's an engineering masterpiece that transformed the character of the E-Type. Jaguar didn't add this engine for shock value. They added it to achieve smoothness, balance, and effortless performance. Turn the key. The V12 comes to life with a deep, refined growl. It's not loud or chaotic. It's controlled, confident, and unmistakably powerful. At idle, the engine feels calm, almost relaxed, as if it's barely aware of its own potential. But press the throttle, and the response is immediate and smooth, with power building in a seamless wave rather than a sudden surge. With approximately 272 horsepower and strong torque available throughout the rev range, the E-Type V12 delivers performance that feels both thrilling and refined. Acceleration is brisk, yet never frantic. The car pulls strongly from low speeds and continues to build speed with grace, making highway driving effortless and overtaking feel almost casual. The V12's smoothness is what truly sets it apart. There's no harsh vibration, no uneven power, delivery. Instead, the engine feels like it's gliding, spinning freely and confidently, encouraging you to explore its range. This is the kind of engine that rewards patience and finesse rather than aggression. Fuel delivery comes through carburetors, paired with electronic ignition, ensuring consistent performance and reliability for its era. Fuel efficiency, as expected, is not economical by modern standards. But that's the price of admission for a naturally aspirated V12. This car was never about saving fuel. It was about creating an unforgettable driving experience. On the road, the E-Type V12 feels remarkably composed. Independent suspension at all four corners allows the car to handle uneven surfaces with confidence. The ride is firm but controlled, absorbing imperfections without feeling disconnected. Power steering makes low-speed maneuvering manageable while preserving feedback at higher speeds. Braking performance is strong, with disc brakes all around, providing reliable stopping power. The car feels stable and predictable, even when driven enthusiastically. It's not a razor-sharp modern sports car, it's something more sophisticated, more nuanced. It encourages smooth inputs, thoughtful driving, and appreciation of the journey itself. What makes the Jaguar E-Type V12 truly special is the way it blends power, beauty, and craftsmanship into a single, cohesive experience. Nothing feels out of place. Nothing feels overdone. Every element supports the others. It's creating a car that feels complete and purposeful. This isn't just a classic car you admire from a distance. It's a machine that invites you to engage, to understand, to connect. It reminds you why people fell in love with driving in the first place, not because of numbers or screens, but because of emotion, sound, and feel. The Jaguar E-Type V12 stands as the final, most refined chapter of an automotive icon. It represents a time when manufacturers were willing to take risks, to build cars that stirred the soul rather than simply satisfying regulations. Even today, it remains a benchmark for design, engineering, and emotional impact. And that's why the E-Type V12 isn't just remembered, it's revered. Because some cars don't just move people from one place to another. Some cars move people emotionally. This is one of them. Thanks for watching.